again. It is Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin Evernham and Steve Post here. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Fantastic. I'm good. I'm used to seeing you on a big monitor in front of us, and the monitor's turned off, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. She's over here. She's over, and there's a little one over on the side here. So just kind of getting acclimated to our surroundings here today.
Yeah.
Yes, we're adapting to it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got it.
It's all good. It's all good. So since I last saw you, it was World of Outlaws at Lakeside.
Yeah, I was waiting for some texts with what's going on in the inside.
My problem is one of the things I'm really working on. Like, this is beyond sprint cars. It's life is to be present.
Yeah.
So you run the balance of being at an event like that. You do want to do the tweeting to promote what you see, what you learn, what you talk about. But I don't want to be standing in the corner on my phone all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so it was great. I mean, I got there. It was one of those deals. Well, okay, I landed like at 1 o'clock and got to the hotel and was able to wrestle the keys to the car from our producer. And then I had some time, and so I went and got some Kansas City barbecue.
I saw that picture.
Yeah.
You didn't forget the food pics.
No, I was all by myself, so I was in tweet mode there, you know what I mean, where I was, and then I got to the track like at 4 o'clock.
Oh, see it all the time.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, there are times I like to just blow in the track, time trials and that sort of thing, but I hadn't seen much. I hadn't seen the World of Outlaws since Knoxville. And I don't really know next spring when I'm going to see him because we no longer have the Volusia connection because of NASCAR's changing schedule. So I don't know, so I wanted to get there and hang out and see people.
That's my favorite time.
And I did.
Well, post-race is fun, too. Don't get me wrong.
Post-race is fun, too, yeah.
But during the day, you get more of what's going on.
What's going on, exactly.
Because by the end, after the race, everyone's talking about what happened, or they're either happy or most of them are sad or pissed off.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, during the day is the time.
Yeah, so I had a good visit with Wayne Johnson. Had a great visit with Wayne. Brownie, got to talk to Brownie. Got to talk with Mama Gail.
Oh, yeah.
From formerly with Weld Racing. Oh, what a sweetheart she
love
is.
Mama
Just
Gail.
one of the absolute best people on the planet. Just everyone. Talked to Jordan Goldsberry is one of the IRA guys. He was like 4th or 5th at IRA points. He came down, last car, locked himself into the show.
Oh, nice.
So just a fun deal. Just a real fun deal. I love it. And then racing was good too. And let's get into that with our Hercules Tires hot topics. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The FVP Platinum Battery Showdown. I saw Joel there, too, from FVP, Joel Q. Got to talk with him. Okay, so this is, again, off the reservation, but just, we live in a time where shortages and shipping and trying to get things. Can you imagine FVP having like 8 million products? No, I can't either.
No.
He was talking about it. It was just like...
Everyone you talk to.
Yeah, you can't get anything. And the thing of it is, and I know Ashley's talked about this time it's this, and Brownie and I talked about this with race cars. Well, this time it's tubing, and next time it's sheet metal.
Yeah,
and this is
you get this one, but now you're missing the other piece.
And I'm sitting there and I was talking to Joel, and I'm like, oh my God, how many, I don't know how many items FVP has. They have their own brands, and then they're a distributor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me? But Joel is just great. I mean, he was talking about it, but he said the consolation of it is that everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So in other words, someone calls him and says, hey, I need so much and so. It's like, I can't help you. He says the only saving grace is nobody else can
and
either.
Everyone understands because it doesn't matter.
Well, everyone doesn't understand. But
well, everyone knows it's a problem across the board. It doesn't matter if you're building a house, which we are.
Yes, you imagine that. Yeah, building a house.
Great
yeah,
time.
I can only imagine
we had a nice
that.
budget meeting this morning. That was really fun. Ray loves budgets.
Well, exactly. And the good thing is you and Ray are both real mellow on all of this stuff and everything.
We never
ever. Ooh, I thought Joel had some moments with FVP.
Yeah.
The Evernham budget meeting during a shortage.
The Evernham house build. It could be a reality show.
The Evernham
Oh, yeah,
house
and
build.
the septic field they just found in the sinkhole. Mm-hmm. Now the pool needs to be... It's like on top of the shortages... Then
what's going to happen now. You know what's going to happen? It's like when you get a traffic ticket, you're going to get a bunch of lawyers. After hearing this, you're going to get a bunch of lawyers sending you just emails. In case you need anything, Erin. In case you and Ray need anything. In case What a time we live in. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And like we said, it's racing. It's whatever industry right now. It's just it's kind of scary.
It really is. It really, truly is. But back to I got talking about everyone we got to meet and talk to and get Squirrel off the reservation here. Gio Scelzi, we're going to talk to Gio later on in the program. Took the lead on lap 27, third career World of Outlaw win, first World of Outlaw win this season. Gio, Donnie Schatz, and Kerry Madsen. He took it off the Madman. Talking with Donnie, okay, obviously they're still working through the Ford program and everything else, and talking to Kerry as well. Yeah. There's one problem they don't have with those Fords. Power. Now, getting the power to the racetrack is the challenge that they're facing. And you take a big old track like Lakeside, well, it figures they're both on the podium up there. I mean, those babies will reach around that joint. I mean, so, but good to see Donnie and Kerry led the first 26, 27 laps. You know how it is, Erin. And it's, the guy, the guy that does the interviews with the World of Outlaws on Dirt Vision. Oh my gosh, tall guy, great guy.
Chase.
Chase Rodman. Chase goes, and I give Chase credit. Chase is, when you're out there in front, you're sitting duck, you don't see the lines and everything. And Kerry wasn't buying anything of it. Kerry's like, I lost the race. Yeah. And he felt, and Kerry will be our guest on our TV show. We actually interviewed him yesterday, and he says he's still grumpy about losing the race. But Chase is 100% right. When you're out in front, where Gio spent the whole race with Donnie and Erin and Brad and inside and outside and everything else.
Tried every line.
He tried every line. And Kerry, it's like he was on cruise control. And had that caution come out, they could be running until now and still not see Kerry.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just, but he was a sitting duck. Like I said, Kerry wasn't buying, which is why Kerry's such a world-class great racer, because you don't accept, you don't accept your conventional, well, you were just, you lost the race.
Yeah.
But
when you finished third and you came from fifth on the last 3 laps, it's a lot different than when you finished third and came from first.
Right. Absolutely. No doubt about it. You're right. We get it. It's why I love the Madman, and it's why he's a world-class racer, because he doesn't. So many people are like, well, we're podium, and it's not acceptable. And especially Kerry's situation with that ride, you're expected to win when you're in a Tony Stewart racing car. And and they're all dealing with it. I mean, Kerry's having a great year, but it was fun. Just the dynamic of it is so cool. And Gio getting that first win of the year, and it was neat. 27th annual Trophy Cup at Tulare. 85 cars entered, 2 prelim nights, Friday and Saturday. Thursday and Friday. Thursday's winner was Buddy Kofoid. Friday was Rico Abreu. Saturday, the race winner was Ryan Timms, but Buddy Kofoid, with a 19th to 4th place run, won the points in the $27,000 champion. How about that? About 4 or 5 years ago, we had Kyle Larson on Wing Nation, who is a kid in California that we need to keep our eyes on. He never flinched. He never blinked. He never hesitated. Buddy Kofoid.
In the 50.
In the 57 car. Yes, exactly. Imagine that. So, Buddy Kofoid picked up the win. More importantly than all of that, we just can't stress this enough. You California folks make all of us sprint car folks look really, really good in the world. And sprint car folks are the greatest. I'm not saying we're bad people, but the California folks with this race, with the charitable initiative, just sign a big old spotlight on the hearts of sprint car racing. $250,000 to make a wish. That brings the total for the Trophy Cup to $2,250,000.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of kids' dreams coming true.
It really is. And then our conversation that we had with Rico last week was very touching. I mean, if you didn't get to listen to that podcast, go back and listen to it.
Go back and listen to it. Rico's heart, you know. Again, Trophy Cup, California. It's just they've got it rolling. That Tulare, man, that was elbows up, wasn't it? Oh my God. I'm telling you what, man. I sit there and watch that stuff, and I'm tired. I'm watching.
I love when they use the wall. They use the wall. The wall.
They tear them off the wall. Boom. Yeah. And it's the dangest place in the world. It's fantastic. Good stuff. Not to be outdone, the 34th annual Comp Cam Short Track Nationals, I-30 Speedway, Little Rock, Arkansas, Hammer Hill, as it's called, season finale for ASCS. Friday night, they had the Twin 20 program. I really like that. I liked what they did with that. Jordan Mallett got his first national tour win, and Sam Haferteep Jr. picked up the wins there. But on Saturday night, it was Blake Hahn took the lead on lap 39 of the 41-lap race. It was his third short track nationals win, $10,041. It also secured Blake the 2021 Lucas Oil ASCS National Championship, his first championship. Yeah. Special year. Blake is going to join us later this week on our podcast. And I look forward to breaking down his season. Such an awesome family.
Really
the Hahn family. And, Emmett's wife, Fuzzy, they lost her recently. She passed away here recently. So I'm sure that the Hahn family, this helped the healing just a little bit, as racing can do, helped the healing a little bit as the family still mourned the matriarch, if you will, of the Hahn racing family. So kudos to Blake Hahn. We'll talk to him later this week. Other races, Jacksonville, Illinois. This was the encore. I love that they did an encore. Jake Newman picked up the win. Outlaw Speedway, the Dutch Oak Memorial. Jordan Thomas, this is the son of Jeff Spider Thomas. Spider Thomas, Spider Thomas used to come to all the car shows I did and everything. And I've talked to them before recently. Jordan is the Patriot champion this year. And the Port Royal Speedway had the Blue Collar Nationals, 10th Annual Keystone Race Saver Nationals. Justin Clark, he is also the IMCA National Champion from the state of Ohio. We're going to talk to Justin as well. Man, this is awesome. Yeah, it was a big win to put a quadruple exclamation point on a spectacular season. 17th win of the year. Man, there's some good racing going on, that's for sure. Also good is our friends at Hefner Racing Products. They know sprint car racing. Therefore, they know what works best for your team. No other accessory can match quality, performance, and design that they do with HRP. Top trailer builders use HRP trailer accessories to outfit their stock and custom-built trailers. They are always adding new things, like the brand-new cordless station, because you know what that does, Erin.
What does that do?
It keeps clutter from the workspace.
We like that. They're sleek in design. They can hold two cordless drill, impact, or flashlight battery in their charger.
Yes.
So keeps clutter, like you said, from your workbench, which I like. The roster includes something for every racer, team, trailer, and shop. So don't settle for anything less than Sprint Car's #1 accessories manufacturer.
It's time now. You're cleaning out the trailers. You're getting them all moved back into the shop. It's time to look at the walls of the trailer and say, hey, man, there's some space over there that we need to use. I can use this better. That cordless tool charging station, I saw this. It's fantastic. It's a great-looking thing, for sure. So, fun stuff. Friends at HRP, Hefner Racing Products, hrpracing.com. Let's get to it here and show you a little bit more, let you hear a little bit more what happened at Lakeside Speedway. Kerry Madsen with the lead, a single file restart late in the day. Here comes Gio Scelzi. Here's Johnny Gibson with the call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Giovanni Scelzi jumps up top, comes after Kerry Madsen, the race for the lead, down the back straightaway. Scelzi to the inside, slide job, new leader Giovanni Scelzi as they come to the line with 3 laps to go.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
Man, I'll tell you what, there's some great racing all across the country. We focus a lot on 410 racing. We talk a little bit about 360 racing, and every once in a while we dip into the 305 world because we love it. It's just a neat part of our sport. And last Tuesday night, as a matter of fact, I was up at KKR, Casey Kane Racing.
Yep.
And I was talking to the McLean brothers, and Jake and Brandon. And up walks this guy, and Jake says, "This is the national champ for the IMCA, Justin Clark." And so chit-chatted just a little bit. I was kind of in the mood and headed in another direction, so I didn't get a chance to double back and talk to him. So why not dial him up and talk to him right now on the Dry Dean hotline? So he joins us from up in Ohio. Hello, Justin. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, Steve. Appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I'll tell you what. I guess just congratulations, and kind of describe to me the season you had with winning the IMCA Race Saver National Sprint Car Championship, the Ohio State Championship, the Ohio Thunder Series, the Indiana Series, 17 wins. You picked up the win at Port Royal this past weekend. Just kind of describe the season you had.
Man, let me tell you, it was a crazy year. I set out with 2 goals this year. We was going to try and run for the national points, and I've been trying to win for 4 years. We ran there I think 2 or 3 times this year, and I ran second in the Keystone race last year. We came this weekend, and we set a goal, and we got it done. And then I've never really got emotional, but I got pretty emotional in Victory Lane Saturday. It was just pretty cool, and finally got the job done.
Justin, where does the emotion come from? I mean, a 17th win, all these championships. What is the backstory? How did you get into racing? Is it a family operation? Just tell us a little bit about really yourself.
I started racing in 2006. I raced go-karts from 2006 to 2018. I started to do the sprint car deal in 2018 while I was trying to do the go-kart stuff still. But I decided I had to decide what I wanted to do because it was just too hard to do both. So I just committed in 2019 to go ahead and just follow the sprint car deal. But, it's a family-owned team, me and my mom and dad. We didn't really think we'd get this far. We were just doing it for fun. But it's carried a long way to where I started to where I'm at now. I really improved a lot. I think it was a lot as a driver this year. I was a lot more determined than I was in the past few years. But like I said, I set my goal, and I usually go for my goal. My goal for Port Royal this past weekend was top 5. I mean, I was going to win, but it's always nice to set a goal and be able to achieve it.
Your mom's video, I watched your mom's video from Port Royal. It was so awesome, and it's just neat to see your family and actually listen to her as you're doing the cool down and going to the scales. I just thought that was awesome, and it's so neat. Justin, this 305 deal seems like to me, especially where you're at in Ohio, where you can go west to Indiana, you can go east to Pennsylvania, or you can race right there, and you can race right there, and you can race right there in Ohio. This seems to be a really good niche for you and your family team. Does it work well for you guys where you're at?
Yeah, yes and no. There's a lot of tracks around Ohio, but a lot of them don't run 305s. Mm-hmm. I mainly run in Indiana and then Pennsylvania. This year, I think we raced in 10 or 11 states, and we won in 6 different series. So, that was pretty cool. It's cool that it's as big as it is, as many series as there are. You can really choose wherever you want to go and race and still be able to run for a championship here and there and be able to hit races in between.
Justin, you talked about your driving and how you feel like you were a little bit more determined this year. The Race Saver series really puts a lot of focus on the drivers. At least when I was a little bit involved with them, the cars were and motors were so close, or being that they're all sealed up. it takes a lot of that part out of it. It's more on driving. Talk about Race Saver racing and how it is kind of different than other sprint car series because the rules are so restricted.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's the cheapest form of racing you can get into it. You don't really have to spend a fortune on a motor it takes all the titanium rotating stuff out of it. So, that part's a lot cheaper on a person. But the nice thing is, you can go and race 2 or 3 nights a week and you're not spending a fortune to do it. But, it's a good series. I'm glad that I've been able to do that for the past 4 years. And glad to have been able to meet all the people I've met and people that helped me along the way.
Your top 3 in points were you in Ohio, Marcus Thomas in Texas, and Garrett Bard over in Pennsylvania. I actually, in June, met Marcus Thomas. I was down at Devil's Bowl and met him, and he was already watching along. He said, the guy in Ohio is doing this. The guy in Pennsylvania is doing this. This one, there was another guy in Texas who was pretty good, too. At what point, Justin, during the season, were you starting to focus on some other guys, or did you just kind of keep your head down? Or how does that work when you're competing with people that you're not at the same track competing with?
Honestly, I feel like I was racing Marcus all year, and we just wasn't at the same track. I watched points every weekend, and I looked at results. As much as I can say I've raced against him, I really haven't. But at the same time, I followed him all year in points. I'm pretty sure I was second, the third, fourth in points all year. And when it came down to it, I knew he had lost his championship. I knew he couldn't get bonus points. So it came down to me winning my championship where I could get bonus points. And, when I knew I won my championship, it was nice to know. I wasn't really, it didn't really hit me until they announced that I had won it. But, like I said, Marcus, he done a hell of a job this year. And, just like kudos to him and Garrett. It takes a lot to be able to do what we do and run for national points. It takes a lot of traveling and it takes a lot of people. And, I'm just appreciative for everyone that's helped me and my mom and dad. I couldn't have done it without them. My dad sacrifices a lot. He doesn't get to go racing with me. He maybe goes 2 or 3 times a year, and a lot of times it's just me and mom go racing on the weekends. And you don't see that a lot.
Justin, along those same lines, how neat is it to be able to run for a national championship in a series like the Race Saver? You're kind of running a bit regionally and you're competing with people across the country, but you get that recognition. That's really neat that Race Saver has that whole point system.
Yeah, it's really cool. Their point system, it's pretty simple. You take your best 20 finishes of your first 40 starts. It doesn't mean you have to run the specific series to do it. But you do get the bonus points if you run the series and get bonus points. But, you can run anywhere across the country and still run for national points at any racetrack as long as it's sanctioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you came down to Fayetteville and finished 3rd and 1st against our local boys here, the Carolina Sprint Tour, earlier this year. So I really am fascinated by the whole program, and I love to see so many people getting a chance to race sprint cars. And whether get involved in sprint cars or find a nice home where it's a series where you can run and travel around and do it just a little bit. Justin, you mentioned at the top, and we've kind of glossed a little bit over this. You talked about getting emotional with Port Royal. I find it fascinating that you had 2 goals this year. One was a national championship, and one was winning at a track that's 6 or 8 hours from your home, I would guess, whatever it is. Why was Port Royal on that 2-item bucket list for this season?
Well, my theory is Indiana has the toughest race cars to race against, and so does Port Royal. I've came close. I think I ran second 2 or 3 times at Port Royal. But I think that's their Keystone race is just almost as big as the Nationals at Eagle. If you can win that, it's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty, it's this cool deal to be able to win at Port Royal because there's so many cars. There was 68 cars there, and, I beat 67 of the best Pennsylvania's got. And, it's just, you don't see that a lot. A lot of, they call it the PA posse, and it's cool to come over and beat the 305 PA posse. So, it's just cool. And, it's just like I said, kudos out to everyone at Port Royal and Rod Work. They put on an absolutely amazing race, and it was just a good year, and it was just a good way to cap it off.
Finally, and I referenced this earlier on, last Tuesday, Casey Kane Racing here in Mooresville, North Carolina, they do a flea market for all of the local racers. And Justin Adams comes and actually they did a Q&A session with Justin Adams. It was spectacular. It was really good. Justin, just your thought on as a young sprint car racer to get the opportunity to walk into the KKR shop, to see what the shop looks like, because it's beautiful, to talk to fellow racers. What was that like for you?
I've been around the NASCAR shops and stuff, but I've never really been around a big sprint car shop, like the Runs World of Outlaws. So it was just cool to see exactly what goes on, and how the cars sitting there, and all the people that are getting everything ready. It was a cool experience to get to go down there and see everything and pick up a few stuff. And like I said, it was cool, and it's really nice that they allow us lower teams or whoever to come in their shop and look at it. And, it's just really nice. And like a big shout out to Justin and Casey for allowing us to do that.
It was neat. It really was. Fun stuff for sure, and fun stuff following you all season long. Justin, congratulations on the great season, all of the championships, all of the wins, including that big one at the end. And we appreciate you taking some time out and joining us here today on Wing Nation.
All right, I appreciate it, Steve, and hopefully I can release some news for next year as to what I'm going to do, and I'm excited for that.
Cool. What can you tell us what you're going to do? Are we dropping news here?
Well, I guess I can go ahead and drop it. I've had the amazing opportunity this year. I got to drive Ryan Prosser. I got to drive his 410 a couple times this year, and he texted me. We stayed in contact since then, and he texted me and said he wants me to drive his car full time next year, and we're going to follow the Fast Series, Fast on Dirt, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm sure I'll still race my stuff here and there to keep fresh in the seat. But I'm pretty excited for that, and see what we can do.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Wow, man, I got chills. That's fantastic. Wow. Justin, I appreciate you dropping that on us. And I just think that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on that. Enjoy all the championship celebrations. Enjoy the off season. And man, this is awesome. Congratulations again. But thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Thank you, Steve.
How about that?
That's incredible.
Man, go to Travel That Fast Series with Prosser Racing. That's a gosh, isn't that awesome? That's the great thing about this is that young people, young families, young racers like Justin Clark are getting an opportunity. They're not going to go out and they can't go out and spend the money to run a 410 program, especially if you're a kid that's just starting in it. This 305 is so great.
Yeah, and the national recognition.
And look at this kid. He's picked up a 410 ride. Man, that's good news. That is great stuff for sure. Appreciate Justin Clark joining us here. Great stuff. I'm very excited. I want to also echo what Casey and Justin do. Mm-hmm. Justin did a 45-minute Q&A session, and you could have heard a pin drop.
I saw some of it. Did you do the Facebook? Or someone had a Facebook Live I watched.
Oh, I didn't do a Facebook Live, but I did a picture.
I caught some of it.
Literally, you see, and I'm just thinking about all these guys, because these are all people just like Justin that are young families and young teams and young racers. And you've got Justin Adams. He's talking about, when he worked for Carl Kinzer, and when he traveled around the country and working not with Bobby Allen, but what Bobby likes to do and things like this. And you could just see the eyes, and these people are just like, oh my gosh. So Brandon McLean puts this together, and got to give kudos to him. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a big day in local sprint car racing, because you have a whole bunch of local racers, including Justin coming down from Ohio, that left with knowledge and some really good, gently used parts.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Great stuff. Appreciate Justin Clark joining us here on Wing Nation.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco Ultratech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey!
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Erin, I'll tell you what, late in the game there on Friday night out at Lakeside, had that restart, and Gio gassed that number 18 car up and parked it on the front stretch. That was pretty awesome. That was some good stuff, that's for sure. Let's go to the Dry Dean hotline where Gio Scelzi joins us. Hello, Gio. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Well, it is good to talk to you, especially after a big World of Outlaw win. Dude, that was an eventful race. Started right off early with a little contact on the front straightaway. Man, you had to earn your nickel in that one.
Yeah, I didn't get a very good start early and fell back to third at the beginning and was back to fourth at one point, and got a good restart, I think probably halfway through, and was able to get to second and close the deal on Kerry.
Gio, you kind of just blow it off like it's nothing, but you had a little incident with Aaron Reitzel, and you said it bent the drag link, the tie rod, your steering was off the whole race, and that seems like it was no big deal to you, but yet you went on and kicked some butt. Talk about that. I mean, as a former driver, when something like that happens, it takes a little bit of, I don't even know what the word is, gumption to just assume that the car is fine and you just keep digging, especially on a track as fast as Lakeside.
Yeah, a yellow came out pretty soon, and it moved my steering wheel about halfway to the right. So I figured, man, it's early in the race, I can pull off and change the drag link or something and keep going. But it was towed in, so it just made the car really darty. But if it was towed out, I'd have really been screwed. But I didn't know it knocked the Jigga-Slider out of it, but it didn't really make it that much harder to drive. It was just kind of hard to steer. But yeah, my car was really good all night, really, and we didn't really touch it a whole lot. But yeah, normally when you get hit in the fence like that, it folds the front end up and just kind of, skids you up the racetrack, but what I was expecting it to do, but was lucky enough to not break the front end out and be able to continue the race.
You guys just amazed me because it wasn't too bad to drive. You just couldn't steer. I mean, it was just tough to steer. I mean, it's like, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
at a fast racetrack.
Yeah, at Lakeside too, where you're just hauling. My question is this, Gio, okay? You have the incident with Aaron, okay? And I don't care who you are, and this is me driving down Roberta Road here in Concord. When you have an incident with someone, it sends the blood pressure right through the roof. You get hacked up. How do you take that energy from that immediate thing, that immediate pissed off? How do you wrestle yourself back under control so quickly with that?
Yeah, I mean, the race definitely did not start as I had planned it. Losing the initial start and fall back to third, but I knew my car was really good, and once we put a fuel load in it, I think it got better. So, it is hard, obviously, but I think what kept me calm, or more calm, was I knew I had a car that could win. Some guys that race around in front of you, they give you a little bit more motivation to run that much harder. So, it is easy to go in there and steal it in there and try and run in the side of Aaron, but like I said, I knew I had a faster race car than him and was able to get rid of him pretty easy and get him behind me.
So, Gio, you get to second, you get that late race caution. That restart, how do you plan? Did you know that you would get a good run up high? Like, what are your thoughts during that caution, waiting for that restart, knowing that's probably your last chance to get Kerry?
Yeah, early in the race, whenever I think I restarted fourth and got to second, I had a big run on Kerry going down the backstretch, and it looked like he was going to slide himself, and he kind of ran the top, and I sailed in on the top right behind him, thinking he was going to go to the bottom, and it got me really tight. So being in that position again, they're late in the race. He kind of looked like he was going to do the same thing and slide himself, and he only went, a car length below the cushion. So I had a big run and knew I had to try to clear him underneath him, and luckily got past him and was able to carry a lot more speed than him. He was able to really control the race and go wherever he wanted, and never got his momentum broke by a car in front of him. So I think it kind of, definitely broke his race, having a car in front of him and having a car cross over in front of him, which showed him, Don to get by in there late.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, watching it there live and then watching the highlights again. How neat was it to get you with that 18 team into World of Outlaws victory lane? You guys have had a lot of success this year, a lot of wins at Knoxville, the 360 Nationals. How important and how neat was it to get to a World of Outlaw win for that team?
Yeah, we actually only won at Knoxville this year, so I didn't want to be labeled a Knoxville-only guy. But, we run second at Beaver Dam and run second at Williams Grove with the Outlaws, and had some good finishes and led laps. Felt like we could have, won a race and just never could close the deal. And I feel like we were on the other side of it now, being in second on a restart and being able to charge and kind of just do whatever it takes to win. So it was awesome. I just thank my guys. Aaron and Adam have been with us all year, and they're kind of behind-the-scene guys that work extremely hard. And, everybody on board, there's a long list of people that make this work, and it just makes it that much sweeter when you can win for them.
Now, Gio, it was your first night working with the new crew chief, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously that went off with a bang. That was a good start, huh?
Yeah, for sure. We hired Dylan Buswell 2 weeks before that on Monday, and got to work with him for a week. And I went home for a week, and came back to Lakeside. So, anytime, it's only downhill from here, right? So you start off and win an outlaw race. So we're expected to win all of them, but just try to go into the race with no expectations, which you can say you had no expectations, but in reality there always are. So. It just was a good night all the way through. Qualified good on the front row of a heat race, made the dash, which is crucial, and drew that one pill. So, it was just and some nights are like that. You can't do anything wrong no matter what happens to you.
You get a new crew chief, and to me this seems like a product. You guys you'd bounced around a little bit, or you'd been there, and you'd brought Bernie in, but I always had the sense that Bernie, because he has his own team, I always had the sense that this was a temporary thing from Bernie. Is that kind of what it was throughout most of this season, to try to find that right guy as the crew chief?
Yeah, I think so. Unless significant things changed in Bernie's life to make him be full time on our team, it was always going to be temporary, essentially. And Bernie's done a lot for me in my career, and I feel like it's probably done the most for me than he's done for any other driver. So, extremely thankful for that, and thankful that we can still be friends. I think that, this is a full-time race team, and unfortunately, like you said, with Bernie's business, he can't be there all the time, and can't put the time in that, I guess we need, you could say. So, it definitely sucks. But to bring a new guy on like that, like Dylan Buswell, and only be working for us 2 weeks and be able to win an Outlaw show is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Gio, how would you assess your year with KCP? I mean, I feel like Knoxville, you were, certainly a contender. You've been strong everywhere you go. How would you rate your season?
You can't really be upset with it. Obviously, winning 360 Nationals and being on the pole of the 410 Nationals were definitely the highlights. Going through a year in the off season where you're going to go with one program and then, change your mind in the end of February and completely change everything. So I felt like it was definitely a year of catch up. And it seemed like every time we build a brand new car, I would go destroy it. So, we were always kind of on the back foot in a way, and especially with with certain factors weighing in on that. And I think now, hopefully, we can start now and work towards 2022.
That is neat. Final question for you. And I saw a post from Peter Murphy, of course, out in California. This Friday night, King of the West has the Anthony. Is it Simone or Simone?
Yep,
Simone. They're of the classic, and he said something about you had contributed a little bit to make it $10,000 to win. Tell me about Anthony Simone and supporting that race that Peter's putting on.
Well, now that he's gone, I think you might be able to tell some more stories about him. But
there we go.
he was a pretty awesome guy. Someone I looked up to in a lot of different ways, and he had cancer and was fighting it, towards the end of his life, and had become closer to my family. Always knew who he was, but had become closer to my family with his son Morrow, and had gone to dinner more and more and heard more of those stories. So, it was just someone I looked up to a lot, and I feel like it was only fitting to make the race $10,000 to win. So, And I respect Peter too, with what he's done with King Speedway and how hard he's worked to make his racetrack nice. And I think it showed with car count and purse. So I thought it was only fitting that since he was number 10 to make it $10,000 to win.
Nicely done.
Yes.
Nicely done. I love it. That's for sure. Well, Gio, nicely done Friday night as well with that win at Lakeside. We wish you the best throughout the remaining races of the year, and thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Gio Scelzi. That's what I like is when a guy remembers the people like this Anthony Simone just sounds like a character.
Yeah.
But one of the things they're doing, and of course Peter Murphy's a character. So one of the things they're doing with this race, it was a $7,000 to win. Peter put up a $7,000 to win, and apparently Gio has added the 3 to get it to $10,000 because Simone was number 10. One of the things they're doing, they're running a regular race, $10,000 to win. Go in the pits. Now this is optional. You're done for the night, or take the wing off and run a 30-lap race for $3,000 to win. The rationale, Anthony Simone would do it.
I like it.
I do too.
Something different.
I love the creativity. I love the creativity. And then when you see someone, one of our top drivers in the sport like Gio participate in it, even though he's going to be so young. So much respect. I think that's neat, and that speaks well for Gio Scelzi. Great stuff. Hey, stay with us. We got more Wing Nation in just a moment.
Just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. They design and manufacture mobile-style, single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all cylinders in the United States. Check out the video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Over 200 events from coast to coast, and they're celebrating 30 years of scattering soil. The American Sprint Cars Series, the world's largest sprint car sanctioning body, is bringing more thrills with wing and even more non-wing action in 2021. 11 regional tours, the national tour. No matter where you are, we're coming to a track near you. Can't be there? Get double streaming fun with Racing Boys and FlowRacing.com, bringing all the adrenaline to your favorite streaming device. See the full lineup of events now at ASCSRacing.com.
Flow Racing is the home of grassroots racing, with over 1,300 races streaming live in 2021. Watch the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, World 100, Dirt Late Model Dreams, Sweet 16, and much, much more. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN. From sprint cars on dirt to SK Modifieds on pavement, arena cross, drag racing, and everything in between, it's here live and on demand. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN. That's FLOracing.com/MRN. Today is the 66th birthday of Sammy Swindell. This should be a national holiday.
It really should.
Seriously. We need to lobby these people that have national holidays.
Yeah, there's a holiday for everything.
There's a holiday for everything, and we don't have one for Sammy. 66th birthday. Other birthdays this week: Jack Miller earlier this week, Gus Hoffman, Mark Light, Wilbur Shaw, Tom Bigelow later this week. But Sammy Swindell, this is our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. 2006 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. At age 15, he got into his father Sam's B Modified, won 11 times, 15 years old. You know what? We talk about kids these days and say, well, it was never like that. Sammy at 15 was racing. I don't know. It's cool stuff. 3-time World of Outlaw champ, 394 World of Outlaw wins, second only to some guy named Kinzer. Knoxville Nationals champion in 1983, a 3-time Kings Royal champion, a 5-time Chili Bowl champion. The other thing with Sammy, and he was an innovator, and we talk a lot about the technology. From bumper to bumper of these cars, he has his hands on every bit of technology. But one of the things I was reading about is his innovation with the team. First off, the teams were spotless. The cars were spotless. But you think about all the primary sponsors that he's had over the course of time.
Yeah.
He was innovative in the way teams operated. The clean shops, the clean floors, the clean transporters, and the corporate sponsorship. You think about what Sammy did, he brought a lot of that to the table of sprint car racing.
He really did.
When you think about who's the first one that had this and the first one, he brought a lot of that professionalism in the way you run an operation. Just fascinating stuff. And just I mean, Hall of Famer is like, you feel like saying, duh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And May 29th of this year, a Power I Wing Series race in Vado, New Mexico, hashtag still winning. Sammy Swindell, happy birthday, champ. Man, love Sammy Swindell. Gosh, just what a legend, what an icon. Oh, it's just, this has got to be some kind of a holiday. I've lost my notes.
It is
here.
a holiday.
Well, no, I haven't lost my notes. I've got them all in front of me.
Oh,
I just
lost
can't
them
find
too.
out which one is today's notes. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. That's the mess.
Somehow
oh
I got them mixed up too.
Well, you got yours mixed
There we
up.
go.
Okay, that one is not it. Here it is. Here it is.
Got
Here it is. All right. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame has their raffle going on. Their Triple X chassis Moyle Racing Engine 410. It's the 14th raffle car. Proceeds to benefit the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. $20 per ticket. 6 for $100. It's a biannual drawing coming up December of next year. Now that you got your notes together, I've told you all about it, didn't I? I saw you over there.
I thought I had them right.
I did too. I did too. And I saw you over there as soon as I started talking about it. I'm like, I see her scrambling for notes. I'm like, well, I can do two things. I can throw her under the bus, or I can just keep it here and let's just go from there.
Well, thanks for looking out.
There we go. I got your back. I got your back. I'll tell you, last night, I was out at Millbridge Speedway. Night one of the Walkopedia Carolina Midget Showdown. Man, I'm telling you what, we have got it so good with Millbridge Speedway. If you're in the Carolinas, you're in the vicinity, and you're watching us live or here on Tuesday, drop everything, go to Millbridge. If not, drop everything tonight. Make sure on Dirt Vision. The Carolina Midget Showcase. Tonight, it's the midgets, it's the micros. The micro feature last night was as good a race as I've seen all year long. Phenomenal. Midget race was pretty good. C.J. Leary got the win there, took it off from Christopher Bell. Gavin Boschel, one of our local micro guys that's driving for Keith Coons.
Yeah.
He, Gavin driving for Keith. Yeah, Gavin's driving for Keith. He finished third. What a show tonight. So it's on Dirt Vision if you can't make it in, but if you can make it, you're not going to be disappointed by going out there. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. And then this is all part of this 2-week period.
Yeah.
And we're in our NASCAR world where we're trying to crown champions in all three divisions. So it's Kansas, Martinsville, Phoenix. And then the short track world, because the dirt track is busy with the they have all of the divisions, the short track now, I forget what it's called. It's just they all run together now. But it's become just 2 weeks of racing every night.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I love it. But it's like I was telling some friends, some running friends of mine. They're like, "Can you do anything?" No, I can't do anything this week. Can't do anything next week. Week after that, I got nothing. We go from wide open
to nothing.
I get back from Phoenix. When I get Wing Nation done, like on the Tuesday after Phoenix, and then we're done for the year with this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I do now?
I got lots of time to run.
Lots of time to run and do everything else. So tonight, if you're in the vicinity or near Dirt Vision, check it out, the Walkopedia Carolina Midget Showdown. Next week is the NTK World Finals. All of the top series. Dryden Wing Nation, Friday and Saturday in the Midway area. Tuesday night, Cherokee Speedway. Tuesday and Wednesday, the Carolina Micro Showdown out at Millbridge. All kinds of stuff. Great stuff for sure. We absolutely loved hanging out with you today. We appreciate you joining us here. Thank you so much to Justin Clark and Gio Scelzi for joining us. But as we say all the time, and mean from our hearts, thank you for joining us here as well. Blake Hahn going to join us later this week on the podcast, and the Madman Kerry Madsen joins us on our television program, Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. Thanks again for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.